Oh, look at that! I just hit my step goal for the hour.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I might officially be done with the FitPal app.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I realized, and I wish I looked into it. I mean, the Fitbit app kind of just offers me everything that FitPal does, except they don't monitor fasting times.
Yeah.
Which Fitbit could definitely try to incorporate that into their app. I also don't like the fact that I guess I don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I'm not going to do it. I don't see maybe there's a benefit to it. But Fitbit, I guess, is owned by Google now or something.
Oh, interesting.
That's the thing. Because when I bought my watch, and I think I talked about this on a previous episode, but when I bought the watch, I got like a free membership into the premium Fitbit for like 6 months, whatever the hell it was, and then like it, I could re-up to it for like $70 a year or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I forgot where the hell I was going with that. This is a solid minute into a show. What the hell? Where the hell was I going with that? Anyway,
Google owning it.
Oh yeah, it asked me if I wanted to sync my Fitbit to Google Fit, and I was like, no, because the whole reason I want to try Fitbit Premium is because I want to go to one centralized app.
Right.
So, I mean, I do have to use the one app for my scale, but that syncs up to Fitbit, which is perfect. But for no matter how much I try to sync FitPal app to Fitbit app, it never transfers over the food.
That's a pain in the...
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's a kick right between the legs, Yeah. I was like, I don't want to do this twice.
No kidding.
But I think I'm going to stick with the Fitbit app, which works out perfect because my trial period ends when my annual for FitPal ends. But I think I'm just going to cancel FitPal and stick with Fitbit because like I said, it does everything. It has everything I need. As far as what I want to keep track of and everything, except for fasting, which I'm going to try to get a whole Fitbit and see if they can add fasting to it.
Yeah.
One thing I did realize I need to control, I need to work on, is that I do buy things in bulk, and being one person is probably not the smartest thing because it doesn't, I don't utilize it at all,
sure,
as much as I should. And I buy a lot of things on Amazon because it's cheaper. So I'm still lining Bezos' billion-dollar pockets.
Right.
God dang. But I was when I made my coffee this morning, which I found out that I don't know if because again, I know I lost my sense of taste back in 2021, maybe.
Oh, dang, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I talked about it on here.
I forgot.
You're
not the only one with memory issues, man.
Yeah, dude, it's horrible. Yeah? Have you ever left your own house wondering if you shut your own door? Or drive halfway to work and wondering, did I really put that book bag in my back seat and have to turn around to check if it's still there or not?
I have not done that, but I have worried about whether or not I left the stove on.
Yeah.
On a day I didn't even use it.
Have you ever forgot what you were just talking about?
Yeah, happens all the time.
What the hell?
You were talking about MyFitnessPal.
No, after that, where you said, "See, you're not the only person." Oh, the taste
and Google and stuff.
Yeah, so I lost I lost my sense of taste for like a couple of weeks.
Could you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay, cool. Siri just popped up on my laptop, and I wasn't sure if it cut me out of the call or not.
Oh, gotcha. No, I hear you perfect. I was wondering if you couldn't hear me because I kept trying to make a statement and you kept talking.
Oh, no, I couldn't hear you because Siri was trying to talk to me.
God, aren't we fucking crushing this?
Yep. So my cat was just walking all over my keyboard while... I can't remember if it was 2020. It had to have been 2021. Yeah, that sounds right.
It had to have been. I lost my sense of taste, and it was around Thanksgiving, which sucks for Thanksgiving. You enjoy all these things, and so for about 10 days or so, I couldn't really taste anything, which I don't think I realized it until about maybe like 3 or 4 days into it,
right?
And, because I was just eating. I think just from, believe it or not, memory, things were tasting like they should be tasting.
Interesting.
But yeah, I couldn't really taste anything. But when it came back and everything, there were things that I didn't like the taste of.
Interesting.
Beef was one thing.
Wow.
I didn't like the taste of beef. For some reason, it tasted bloody to me.
Huh. Like really irony?
Yeah, irony. Exactly. The irony is I love cheesesteaks, and I couldn't eat cheesesteaks. I don't know if that's irony or not.
I don't know if it is either. But
it was iron E.
Yeah.
And coffee. Coffee was another thing. Like, I know when you were out here, when we had to do, we did something. You were out this way. There was when we had to do the voiceovers, that was in 2022. For the
yeah.
So 2021 is when I lost my taste. So from November, so almost a year. So almost a year from that, I still had weird, like, things still tasted weird to me, and coffee was one of the biggest things. And I know that there was I know there was a problem with my Keurig, because for me, coffee never tasted good coming out of the Keurig. Unless I put like the cream and Splenda in it, then I was fine with coffee. But straight up black coffee, I just couldn't drink it. It just did not taste good to me. It wasn't that I couldn't. I don't know how to explain it, but it just tasted dirty. So that's why I always thought, like, maybe there's something wrong with the Keurig. Like, maybe it's just there's an issue with the Keurig and everything. And I know you had coffee from it. You said it had a weird taste to it, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But I got a new Keurig. I got a new one for Christmas and everything, a brand new one. I still have the old one. I gotta get rid of it. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with it. It still works. I'll probably garage sale it. But anyways, every time I still make coffee, I was like, man, why does this still taste weird? Like, what the hell is wrong with this and everything? But today I had black coffee because I was going to use the creamer, but the creamer is expired. And and I don't know how long you could go, like how long creamer works afterwards, but it just doesn't. The best way I could describe this, and I apologize to any family that listens to this moment in this conversation, earmuffs for the next 45 seconds for this, but it looks like something that I could produce. If you understand what I'm saying.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
So I'm just like, I don't want that in my body. Like that, I think it's just bad. That's just too thick.
Yeah.
Creamer. So I didn't put it in there, and I was like, well, I'm not going to put just straight up Splenda in it because it's not going to taste the same without creamer in it, whatever. So I just drank it straight black, and wasn't bad. So I think maybe my taste has come back on that. It came back on cheesesteaks. But yeah, it was just a weird experience. Like, wow, like I'm sitting here eating a Thanksgiving dinner and I can't even taste what the hell anything tastes like.
That sucks.
Like, because of memory, I think there were some parts of it that, like, okay, I'm eating turkey. I know what turkey tastes like. Oh, I'm eating yams. I know what yams taste like. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't give you that full flavor that you would experience eating.
Right.
But I think I'm coming around on coffee. But like, as we were wrapping up the last recording, it got cold. Wasn't a big fan of it. I do like coffee. I do like iced coffee. I will have an iced coffee from time to time, but I've never had a black iced coffee.
Right.
That just seems bad.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I need Splenda. I need cream in it and everything, and not a whole lot. I just put enough in it to, turn it a different color and give me a little bit of a sweet taste to it.
Sure.
So, but yeah, coffee is now a thing in my life again, which I'm glad, and coffee does help you stay regular, so I'm happy for that too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my opening statement there.
Nice. Yeah, I hate cold coffee. Coffee that has gone cold is the worst.
Yeah.
It gets to be like, I would say, about 100 degrees, and I'm like, this is undrinkable. It tastes like, you know how when you haven't taken the trash out for a while and there's that liquid accumulated at the bottom of the bag?
Yes.
That's what coffee that has gone cold tastes like to me.
Okay, so then I guess I made up, or I imagined it, but I thought you had some kind of like cold brew thing at your house?
I do not have a cold brew thing. No, I have a French press. I have like a stovetop espresso maker, and I have an auto drip.
What's the okay? But I thought you had something. I'm guessing this exists, and I can probably Google it. But I'm guessing this exists, where you could put together something, put it into the fridge, and it creates coffee overnight.
Oh yeah, I don't have that, but yeah, that does exist.
Man, I thought you had that.
Nope.
Do you ever make your oh god, what the hell is it called?
Kombucha?
No, it's not a thing. It's a spot in your house. Like you're gonna have like an entryway table or some shit like that has like all the coffee and everything set up on it.
Oh yeah. We have like a baker's rack that has all of it. I have the mugs. All of the mugs in my house are on the wall next to it now.
Gotcha.
So that you don't have to go downstairs to get a mug if you want coffee or tea.
Gotcha. Because I remember you talking about doing something like that. Like for some reason, the idea of it being like in your entryway or some shit. Like you and Maddie decided like, you know what our house needs? A waiting room. And it's like right when you walk in, like to a doctor's office. Like you can sit down, read some magazines, and the coffee's like right over there next to a fridge that has like some bottles of water in it.
I kind of love that idea. I'm not gonna lie.
This is how I imagine, because I haven't been to your house yet.
Right.
And that's how I imagine, because I know when you say, because you live in like a true split level, like where you walk in, you either go upstairs or downstairs, there's a landing.
Yep.
I imagine that landing having a couple chairs that have some like solid wooden like armrest and like a foam seat, a foam back, but it's made out of corduroy or whatever the hell those old chairs are made out of.
Yeah.
And there's like a cart right there where you can make some Keurig coffee or you get some hot water to, because you got a plethora or a variety of teas that you could use, whether it be gray or Earl.
Yeah.
And then right next to it's a little mini fridge that has some bottles of water and stuff and a sign-in sheet. And you just wait.
Wish I had that. That would be awesome.
Right? This is
the concept of a sign-in sheet for my house. There's a part of me that is just a little bit OCD and loves the idea.
Right. There's a basket.
I got a record of people in my house.
Right. And it's what time they sign in, what time they sign out. That way, if something is askew in your house, you could be, call them up like, hey, Mark, real quick. First off, thank you for your visit. We do appreciate it. Next time, we wish you fill out a survey card, for your experience here. But I noticed when you showed up here on, August 15th around 9 a.m., you did depart, around 3 p.m., which, that's not the issue here. You did sign out. But we seem to be missing a couple of bananas. And we also noticed that the courtesy jar is empty. We're just trying to figure out what happened here.
God,
something like that. I just feel like this.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm not mad. I just want to know the truth.
Exactly, right? It's like we just want to make sure that the experiences are enjoyed, but also the honor system is in place here for a reason.
Right.
And of course it was fucking Mark. It's
right. And all you had to do was ask. Like, I would have given it to you, man. That's what it's there for.
Right. Yeah, you always wanted to help out, but at the same time, honor systems, Mark.
Yeah.
Fucking Marks, I tell you.
That's so funny.
But
it's so funny because like I'm sitting here, I'm going, yeah, that is exactly. I would 100%. That's who I would be, right. and then I take the next step and I go, shit, I am my father's son in that way. Like I'm not mad. I just ask, man. Right, you felt like you had to sneak it.
I can just imagine in my mind right now you wondering how many chairs you could fit into your landing.
Right, I have some chairs in my house that are we've put them in our bedrooms because like we got one in our bedroom and one in the guest bedroom because I couldn't figure out where else to put them.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, on the landing with a little coffee bar or like cocktail cart that has coffee and like a bar cart, it'd be perfect.
Not only that, you can have like a little survey there so people can kind of describe themselves. So when you have when you have a get together and stuff, and you invite some family you haven't talked to in a while and shit, they come in, fill out and everything. You start letting people in, one at a time. But now you got the surveys in front of you attached to a clipboard. So we go like, okay, Justin, I see here that you guys just got back from Cabo. How was that?
Right.
Things like that, because now you got conversation topics and stuff that you can incorporate into now, getting, caught up with your family and stuff you haven't talked to in a while.
Oh,
Boom,
man,
right
that'd
there.
be excellent. I love it.
Right? And, you got that, now there's that buffer too, where you say, hey, listen, house is a little bit full, so.
Help yourself to a coffee while I read your survey so I know what to talk to you about.
Yeah, so please sit tight. We'll call you in when we're ready. In the meantime, please enjoy, a highlights magazine or
and one of those toys that's just like wires with beads that move back and forth.
God, yeah. And one's all bent up.
Yeah. Because there's that one kid, Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, because we all know that the yellow is just one big loop from up and around, but it's like bent down in the middle, so it looks like a shitty M.
Right.
They're like, oh crap, how do I get this one bead over this bent now? Yeah. Yeah, 100% use coloring books.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I'm just so glad we could redesign your entire house staff.
Right. I do have plans. They're not cheap plans, but I have plans for the podcasting room I'm in. Will eventually be transformed into like a medieval tavern.
Ooh, solid.
That's what I would like to do. I don't know. I need to get another job.
I
got student loans starting again soon. Like, I can't. The idea of doing things for fun is going out the window.
Did you not fall into that criteria of like paid off and shit, or?
Well,
because then that is a thing, right? Like, aren't they determining like certain people could get like a total payoff, or is that am I thinking?
Yeah, but you gotta. So I do qualify for the PSLF loans, but when you sign up for that, it starts a 10-year clock, and I'm already 3 years into my 10-year clock, and so like, why would I add another 3 years to my debt? And on all of the income-driven repayment programs, my payment actually goes up compared to what it is right now. So like, I would have to pay more a month to have it still be paid off in basically the same amount of time.
Gotcha.
Or I could sign up for, they've got an income-driven repayment program where you have to have it for 20 or 25 years. And I'm like, why would I have it for 20, 25 years when I could just pay it off in 10 and not get out as much?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we make enough. I'm not worried about paying it off. But if I could get it forgiven, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, I don't know. It just drives me crazy. I looked at all the plans and stuff, and all of them, my monthly payment is going to be like $700 a month, which is a lot. It's going to suck for a long time. But, I looked at the income driven repayments, and, cause my wife makes enough, we together make enough that my payment would go up to like $1,000 a month. And I'm like, no, I'll just pay $700 and not have it for 25 years. Thanks.
Yeah. She, cause she said her loans too, right? Or
she paid hers off. Oh, her family set up an account for her, when she was a kid, and she only took out, I think, 1 or 2 loans, and it was just to like have it on her credit record to help her credit.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing, like, and I don't know how you feel. I'm not pissed at my family at all, but like, it sucks that those were things that we didn't have.
Yeah.
I wish it was. I mean, I know. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, God damn it. Let me get this statement out clearly. I know what my mom went through, and I know what we went through with my mom. I know some parts of your guys's and Carl's life.
Yeah.
Or just in general, like I don't know everything, but I know both our parents worked really hard for the money they made to get us what they could.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that like they were in shitty situations where they couldn't like create like accounts like that for college.
Yeah.
Like I had something very similar to that. Like my uncle, who never got married, never had kids, had a pretty decent job, and he was able to kind of like set up like some college funds for us, which, I mean, I appreciate the money he did give us, but it was like, I think it was like around maybe like $4,000, maybe $5,000. If it was even that, it could have been $3,000, but if I had to get an absolute guaranteed max amount, it was probably $5,000. But I think it might have been closer to $3,000 or whatever.
Sure.
Which by the time we went to college, that covered like a semester of books.
Right. Yeah.
You know, probably some classes, but like the books were ridiculous. I mean, you're looking at several $100s for books that you're going to use for like that year. And if you got the shitty year, which was the last year the user for the new edition came out, you couldn't even sell them back.
Yep.
And it seemed like I always fell into that. There was one time where I got the first edition of the book and I couldn't complete the class. So I was able to sell it back like 8 weeks later because of work. I couldn't finish it. And I was able to get a decent amount back. But every year I always seemed like I got the last year that this book is going to be utilized and I can't even sell it back. I couldn't even get $20 for the fucking thing.
Yep.
And that's what sucked. But yeah, we didn't get shit like that. I wish we did. I wish there were opportunities for us to be able to graduate high school and say, hey, there's an account that has at least $20,000 in it. Because I think Eastern at that time, and I could be completely wrong, Derek went, I think tuition for a year or something that was was only about $18,000, I think.
For a year?
I'm guessing. I could be completely wrong. I don't know if you're able to Google.
No, you're probably right. I don't know.
I'm going to Google that real quick. 2007 tuition.
Yeah, because like at Purdue right now, in-state tuition for the year is $9,992. So that should be at least 2 years, I would think, at Eastern, because it's a public university, right?
Yeah. How much does it cost to go to Eastern for 4 years? Oh, okay. Okay.
Although I guess, you know what? That's tuition. That doesn't include room and board. It doesn't include books usually.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to find this answer. I fucking hate. Yeah, maybe it wasn't that much. I don't know. Like I said, I really couldn't tell you. I thought in my mind,
Jesus. Yeah. In-state tuition at Eastern, this year is $12,562. So yeah, with living expenses and everything, it probably would be close to 20.
Yeah. That's annually? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason in my mind, $18,000 pops into my fucking head. And I don't remember how long that covered. I really don't. So I mean, like, yeah, maybe it was $18,000 including, because I mean, Derek stayed, in the dorms and shit and all that stuff. So I mean, it's very possible, but even then, even if it got me a first year, I mean, like, the other thing that sucked was somehow Mom and Carl made enough money to where financial aid wasn't applicable.
Yeah.
Which I also think is bullshit. I'm sorry, but I would figure, people like us, you, me, Nick, Sherry, Joe, all of us, like, we were in a position to where, like, if we wanted shit, we had to buy it ourselves. Like, our parents helped out when they could, but at the most part, we had to help out ourselves. And I think what it comes down to is, like, like when they do financial aid programs and all that stuff, and I sit there and say, hey, I need to get, financial aid so I can go to school. And when they tell me, like, oh, you don't qualify because your parents make enough money to pay for your school, it's like, yeah, but my parents aren't paying for it. It's like,
right.
It's like my parents, it's like first off, like where's the cutoff to where you could say that my parents can afford to send us to college? Right. And I think at that time it was, if they make at least $80,000 a year, then you don't qualify. I think that's what the cutoff was then. And when I said right, but Jesus. Yeah. And I'm seeing her telling us, it's like, where do you think that that two parents who have 7 kids are going to be able to afford to send every kid to college?
Mm-hmm.
Or especially pay the tuition, which I'm guessing, like, unless you take out a loan, has to be up front.
Right.
It seems to me like
you might get a payment plan, but the payment plan is usually like it'll be like 2 or 3 payments. And it's like, oh yeah, so instead of paying $9,000 at once, I have to pay $3,000 3 times by November. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, to me, and again, this is just speculation, any college could correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, it sounds like they were trying to encourage you to get loans so they can make money off the interest. Like, they didn't really give a shit about the $18,000 you could pay now. They care about the $38,000 you could pay over time.
Yeah, well, that money doesn't even go, the interest payment doesn't even go to the university.
Oh, does it go to whoever the interest company?
Yeah, it goes to like whatever company that is servicing the loan.
Listen, let's conspiracy theory it and say, hey, listen, if I send these guys to get a loan for you, would I get a kickback? I wouldn't be shocked if that shit happened somewhere.
Oh no, absolutely. I believe it. And even if it doesn't go to the university or university administrators, like I deep down, I truly believe that one of the reasons college is so expensive is because well, I'll just say President Biden's from Delaware. Mm-hmm. A lot of these loan companies are based in Delaware because there's no corporate tax in Delaware. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're telling me they're not paying him or paying somebody to keep student loans a thing and make sure that they go up and the interest rate's always high? Come on.
Yeah. That's the thing that always sucks. And I feel like if there was some I don't want to say leeway, but if there was some way for them to be more understanding and a better process, whatever the hell I'm trying to think of, you can probably tell me as soon as I get it out. But if they were able to find a way for me to be able to go through school and actually do college, I probably would have stuck with it. But it always came down to money. Yep. Like everything always came down to cost. And I was able to get financial aid for community college, after I moved to my dad's.
Right.
Moved. And used his address to go to Kankakee Community College and everything. But even then, it just gets to a certain point. It's like, hey, listen, you get the finances, but the thing is, I get to keep a certain GPA. And I wasn't I'm not a smart guy. I never claimed to be a smart fuck. I'm not an intellect. I'm just not. Anyone who's listened to our show in the last year knows that there are some things I'm knowledgeable about, but it's irrelevant things. Like cream cheese is a cheese. Did you know that?
I actually didn't know that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's never going to win me a Nobel Prize.
Right.
but it's a fact that I know.
Right.
That's my life. There are life knowledge. There's life things that I know about, but when it comes to academic, math, I suck at. Science, I suck at. History, I'm okay at if I learn it. But when it comes to like math and science, I just don't have the mental
acuity.
I don't even know what that word meant. Quit throwing words at me. I don't get it. My brain doesn't process to maintain the information.
Yeah.
Like it'll be there eventually. Like I'll be able, like if I can sit there and like learn it over time, then yeah, it's there. But in my head, it's just like I don't need to know what a quotient is or whatever the hell that thing is. I just don't.
Right.
Square roots and shit. Like I'm not a carpenter. Like I don't know. I don't need no square roots, and I don't need to solve for y, because if I don't fucking know it, why do I need to figure it out? Like addition, subtraction, multiplication, what is it called? Arithmetic, simple arithmetic, or whatever the hell it is.
Yep.
Like that stuff, I know it, and I'm good, and I'm comfortable for the rest of my life on that shit. But like, I don't think I'm ever going to have fractions. I'm fine with, but I'm never going to come to a point where I'm going to try to cook at home, and they're like, please add, the square root of pi. Amount of flour to this. Like no, never. Like I'm never, that's never going to be a measurement in baking.
Right.
And it's, but yeah, so like if you don't maintain a GPA, then you got to pay it back.
Yep.
Like they'll pay it up front, but as soon as you fuck up, oh, well now you got to pay it back and everything. It's like, great. So now I don't have the confidence in myself to even move forward, because if I fuck up, without, if I don't have the intelligence to get through that class with a good GPA or the semester or whatever,
right,
then I'm going to have to pay this money back. It's like, why do I want to put myself in that kind of risk?
Right.
It's a horrifying situation, because the thing is, like, it's not like I go up to, the financial aid department and said, hey, listen, I know that my GPA didn't qualify, to, maintain the financial aid, but hey, I really tried. They don't give a shit. They don't care.
They don't care that you tried.
Yeah, they don't care that you tried. It's like, well, I'm glad that you tried, but you owe us $3,500.
Right.
You know, it's like, and I know there was this weird, it kind of goes back to last week when we were talking about like lottery and like how like, you know, I'd help out, you know, and shit like that. Like one of the biggest things I have is like I want to send nieces and nephews and shit like that to college, and I'm willing to pay for it as long as they try. Like I don't want to pay for parties. I don't want to pay for them to, you know, go and, you know, I don't need a Van Wilder. I'm not going to pay for a niece or a nephew to go to college for 8 years to hopefully eventually you know, obtain an associate's degree.
Right.
Like I really want you to try, but if you fail, it's understandable as long as you tried. Like I just need the effort shown there. I just don't want to piss away money. I want to invest in the future of our family, and I'm willing to do that as long as you try. But if you're 6 years in and you tell me, oh, I'm only 2 more credits away from getting an associate's, it's like 6 years. 6 years, Patrick. Like what the fuck?
Right.
Like, you don't have an associate's in 6 years?
3 times the length of the degree, my dude.
Yeah, it's like, come on now, you should be close to a master's, and you're telling me that you don't have your fine arts associates yet? Like, what are you fucking up on? Like, where's the problem here, kid? That's the stuff where we're like, okay, now I'm gonna have to question funding the future, but at the same time, it's like that's not how the world sees it, and I wish it was. It's like, hey, listen, I know the GPA was 0.3 below what you were expecting. But it's just because I could not get through the math class. I need, you know, I just need some understanding here, and I'm trying my best. Right. I'm glad you're trying your best. Pay me my $3,500 fucking dollars, or else you can't come back next semester. And that's the stuff that's up, because I didn't want to put myself in a situation like that. It scared me to move forward with college, knowing that if that was to happen, now I'm screwed.
Yep.
And I get paid the $3,500 now, but what happens next semester? Where's the money for next semester? Am I going to
also almost to some extent? What's the point? You're making really good money without the degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it would literally, and don't get me wrong, I think education is valuable for its own purposes. So like, if you want to spend that money to go get a degree because you're really interested in a topic or whatever, do it. I don't give a shit. I think you should. But like, if it's a matter of increasing your career prospects, like, you're making really good money right now, and you'll probably continue to make that good money as long as that industry exists. So,
yeah, and it's weird because the industry I'm in, like, if you really want to get a degree to advance you in this industry, you probably need it into 2 courses that I don't do the greatest at, which is math and science.
Yeah.
If I was to go back to school for any reason, it would probably just be like production and shit. Help me it would help me advance my knowledge of what we're doing here. I mean,
sure.
To, you know, like that would be why I would go back to school.
Yeah. That would be a cool thing. Just personally, were I a business owner, that would be one of the things that I would do for my guys, for my employees, is like, hey, you want to go back to school? Like, we've got funding for that.
Yes.
You know.
Oh yeah. One of the dreams was to own a mechanic shop. If I won the lottery, I would want to own a mechanic shop, and I would hire people who have tech savvy knowledge, but I would also offer them an opportunity to go and learn more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, listen, I will invest in your future, but the problem is there too is like the only negative side to that I found is that like if I let's say I hired some kid who went to you know I've talked about the Kankakee Area Career Center, right? KCC before.
Yes.
Yeah, that it's like if you guys don't know what that is, I'm sure other places do this. But high schoolers could take the last half of the day or whatever it is, juniors and seniors. The last 3 periods of the day, they're sent to a different building where they can learn like fire, to be a fireman, to be a cop, to be a mechanic, to be a nurse, to be a computer designer. I think daycare or what. There's a bunch of different career paths that they start training you in high school from there. So if you want to reach your fullest potential in that field outside of high school. Like, so if I was to open up a shop, if I was to say I won the lottery, I'm opening up a shop, I already have the fucking name for it, which is solid. It's called Fix It, Express It.
Nice.
Right? It's something like that. Anyways, it's a solid fucking name if I actually sit down and think about it. But I could hire somebody who just went through all mechanics KCC. They listen, you're a fucking 18-year-old kid, whatever. you know how to do the basic shit. You know, replace a starter, replace an alternator, oil changes. You know how to do the maintenance shit. Like, you know the basics. I'll hire you on. You know, work for me. We'll do this. I'll send you to school. You could learn, learn mechanics, everything. Like, I will invest in you in your future. But the problem is, as soon as they're done with that and they leave, now I'm out my investment.
Right.
And that's the part, like, that's the petty side of me. Because obviously I want anyone to succeed. Like, I want everyone to, achieve their greatest potential. But if I was to pay for somebody's schooling to go and become a great mechanic to go beyond what KCC does, rebuild transmissions, rebuild engines and all that. And now they come back to me and say, hey, thank you for the opportunity, but I'm actually leaving. I'm going to go work at another mechanic shop. It's like, now I'm out my money. Yeah. And that's the thing that's like, now, like, again, like if there was to be a program, say, listen, I'll invest in you, but, once you're done graduating, once you're done, once you get your certificate, like, I need you here working. And I'll pay you more money. Like, you'll make more money because you have that degree. Like, you come work for me now, you'll make, 18, 19 bucks an hour, whatever. But once you have the degree, we can bump you up to 28. We can bump you up to 30 and everything. And you'll be my guy here at the shop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that would be the deal, right? You'd put that into the contract for the course or whatever, the degree. And you'd say, look, I'll pay for it. But then, like, let's say the degree takes 4 years. Yeah. I need 4 years of work from you when you're done. And we can agree on the rate increases for what it costs when you get the degree and all that stuff and whatever.
Yeah, no, and I think that's what a lot of businesses should kind of look at. Is like, if you're going to invest in somebody's future, then you should get something out of it. And I think that's perfect. You go for a 4-year certification, you get done, you give me 4 years after.
Yeah.
If it gets done in 3, give me 3, whatever it is. Like, it's like, but the longer you stay with me, the more you learn, the more you get paid. But then, you can move up. Like, okay, so now you're an auto tech, but now you could be a mechanic. Well, now you could be the supervisor and shit. And I'm looking at like a small shop. Like, it's not gonna be anything fucking huge, but I would like, a few bays where I'm able to get cars in and everything, because it is going to be a local Peatone, shop, a mom and pop shop, a father and son shop, whatever the fuck it is. It's just going to be a shop like that. So I don't need like a huge fucking, I don't need a huge workforce, but four techs, 2 mechanics, a supervisor, shit like that, but then over time, like, give me 4 years after you graduate. When you're done, if you want to leave, I totally understand. But at least I got what I got out of my investment. Because once you graduate and you're able to do this, I can hire the next guy. Right. And then once he's ready and you're ready to go, he takes your place. And you just keep cycling through. You hire 2 or 3 people at a time. Those 2 or 3 people get to a certain point. You hire the next 2 or 3 people. Those 3 people are mechanics. These 3 people are techs. They're going to school and shit like that. And you know what? If you don't want to go to school, that's fine. Yeah. Well, realize you're a tech at $18 an hour because you chose not to advance your career. Right. So when you come up to me and say, "Oh, why is so and so making 28 and I'm only making 18?" It's because they went and got the degree. Right, they got this new piece of paper. Yeah. This guy over here, he's able to rebuild me a transmission. You could replace a starter. Right. If you want to make $28 an hour, go to the free schooling I'm offering you. Right. Yeah. That's all you gotta do. Go to school. And you know what? You have a job that works around your schedule going to school. Because it's all from one place. So, I can send you to school during the day. You work a few hours in the evening here to, still make money. Maybe a couple weekends here and there. I'll still allow you to have a life because everyone's entitled to have a fucking life. Uh-huh. But, if your school is Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from like 7 to 3, whatever the hell it is, come work on Tuesday, Thursday. Put in some 10-hour days on Tuesday, Thursday. Put a couple evenings in on Monday, Wednesday, Friday if you want to do it. Get you, some hours. Come in on the weekend. Get you to 40 at least somehow. Right. It's totally doable. You do 2 10-hour days on Tuesday and Thursday. It gives you 20. You do, 4-hour shifts on the evenings or whatever. That gives you 12 hours between Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That puts you at 32. Come work an 8-hour on a Saturday. Gives you 40 easy. There's your fucking money. And you still go to school that you don't got to pay for. By that time, at your age, depending on where you're at, with your family, you can probably still live at home. So you're still making decent money, and now you're going to school. But you got to commit to the school. You got to get through school. You got to graduate school. And then you work for me for 4 years. But if you decide to leave after 2, you need to pay me back. Right. I need that money back. And I think that's fair. And I think if every business did that, I think they'd get more out of their company, more out of their employees.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But
yeah, because like that's the thing, right? I feel like that's what is it they say? People don't leave bad jobs; they leave bad management.
Yes.
And so like good management, it's very to me, it's very like I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine.
Mm-hmm.
Or not even like good management says I'm going to scratch your back. I hope that you have the integrity to scratch mine.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it goes. Like good management takes care of their people and their people take care of the business. Like, and I have had jobs, not very many, I'll admit that, but like I think right now, there's like 3 places I would probably go back to work if the money was right and if the situation I was in was bad enough. I would go back in a second, without even thinking about it because like I know that these people are going to take care of me. Like even though it's kind of a shitty job, I know like I would happily go work for Interstate down in Fowler, because I know that, my pay is going to be based on what I need more than on what they can afford. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If, and I know we talked about this, and I don't want to put anything out there into the world or whatever, but when the time comes for Candy and Kevin to retire, the idea is for Ryan to take over.
Yeah, as I understand it.
If Ryan offered you to do a job, would you take it?
I'd seriously consider it.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a big move, obviously.
Yeah. So the biggest problem, like because of where I'm at in my life, and where I'm at, my wife and I are at in our lives, we do not feel comfortable moving back to Indiana unless something seriously changes politically there. It's not because they're conservative or whatever. It's because like they've got a lot of laws that restrict her rights as a woman and our rights as a married couple. That we just are like, we don't want to live there. We would live in Illinois. And we want to work in Illinois as long as we can because we don't want to pay taxes to support, bad government.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha.
To put it frankly. Not put too fine a point on it. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
because like we both love Indiana. Well, a lot of our family lives there, or all of her family lives there, basically. And it's a beautiful state. It's wonderful people. It's just shitty laws, man. I don't want to live in a place with bad laws, or worse laws, I should say.
Mm-hmm. What laws? Because I don't know.
Well, the biggest one right now is they passed abortion restrictions. And it's not like we're like crazy about abortions or anything, but, it's just, she's of childbearing age. She has, it's a matter of if she had an ectopic pregnancy or if she had a miscarriage or if she had, if anything were to happen where she would need to get medical care in Indiana, you can no longer get it because there are doctors who will refuse to give it to you because they're afraid of being prosecuted. And also, like, you can have a miscarriage in Indiana, and if someone finds out about it, they can be like, oh, well, they can report you to the police, and then you have to go through a whole court system thing to prove that you didn't purposefully have a miscarriage.
Gotcha. See, so I'm glad you explained that to me, because in my mind, I'm like, I'm sorry, did they take away voting rights over there? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, as far as women, but that makes more sense. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, so like, is the pay scales different now? Are the voting gone? Like, does she have to cook dinner? Is that a law? Like, where is it married couple? The married couple thing was the one that was confusing me.
Gotcha.
But okay.
I sort of just like, I don't want to make it just her issue. Like, it would be our issue.
Yeah. No, like I said, and that's why I'm glad I've asked. That's why I'm glad you. Yeah. So that's why, because I'm saying I'm like, did we 1960s fucking Indiana? Like, what? Right. 1930s Indiana?
They're fucking trying, man. They are fucking trying.
Yeah. Dude, Indiana's wild, and honestly, Indiana to me, outside of laws, but like the living there, like as far as living, like the physical feature of Indiana, not the political and the financial.
Yeah.
The physical. So when I see how Indiana is, first off, the more south the better. working in parts of Indiana that I worked in,
Mm-hmm.
I am absolutely terrified of the northwest corner of Indiana because it is horrifying.
Oh,
Fucking hate it.
I've heard that. I've never had a bad time there, but I've heard of people having a bad time there.
Here's the two things that horrify me about the northwest corner of Indiana, and this is Whiting, Indiana. This is East Chicago, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. It's the locations that border the lake that are right there. The biggest example of why I hate that fucking area. I used to do a lot of work as an inspector there, and being there at 2 a.m. and shit, and knowingly being followed by cars.
Yeah,
is terrifying.
Yeah.
And I would because I would be driving down the highway. It'd be 2 a.m. I'm on my way to do a job. I get off the exit, and there'll be a car that we go off the exit. And I don't think much of that. We're both getting off onto a major road in Indiana, which is fine. And then you take a turn, and then they take a turn. Still not too worried about maybe they're because I'm going down probably a populated area. But once you make another turn that only people who do this job will turn on,
right,
that becomes a little bit weird.
Yeah, totally.
And it's not like a work truck or anything. It's an Oldsmobile. It's a car that you don't typically see in this industry. Now,
right,
as an inspector back then, any vehicle you used, that was the car you used. And Carl had Oldsmobiles and shit like that too.
Sure.
But the job I was going to do it was a single person job. It wasn't a coworker. I know that because none of my coworkers were driving that car at the time. And it wouldn't be another inspection company because this was the type of job where they didn't do that. So, okay, so why is this person following me? So usually when you get up to a terminal, the gates close, you got to press the button, they let you in and shit like that. Luckily for this one, I'm saying luckily because who knows what could have happened.
Right.
But the gate was already open and there was a terminal operator already there because sometimes they'll just hey, let me know when you're close and blah, blah. And I let them know hey, I'm right down the road. They'll come up, open the gate. So as soon as I get there, I can pull right in. They can shut the gate. So as I'm I'm driving up to it, I'm getting to the gate. The gate's already open. The terminal pickup truck is, facing the opposite way, headlights on. So as I'm getting closer to the gate, you see the car behind me starting to slow down. It stopped. I went through the gate started closing, and they, did a 3-point turn and left.
Yeah.
So
that freaked me out.
So that freaked me out. The other thing that freaked me out, which I wasn't in any danger, but the possibility could have been there, was I was gauging a short tank at a terminal that was, I guess it was technically on the Illinois side, so it's not the Northwest Indiana side, so I can't blame this one on it. But this was off of Torrance Avenue, which is also not a safe area. I was up on top gauging a short tank and stuff, and in the distance I heard popping noises.
Oh yeah.
To me, it sounded like firecrackers, but the guy who was up there with me, he's like, what that
those
is?
are firecrackers.
Yeah, he's like, you know what that is, right? I'm like, dude, it sounded like firecrackers. Like, that wasn't firecrackers, bro. That was a gun. Somebody just got shot. And I'm like, bullshit. The next day, you heard on the news that they found a body in a trunk at a car wash 3 blocks away from where we were at.
Classic.
Yeah. So
I don't know how else to respond.
Yeah. So that area is just, it just, I think a lot has to do with the fact that I grew up in a small town where it's quiet, things like that don't happen. So when you go into places like that, it's nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Because
you're there so late at night.
Yeah.
I've only ever, I've been to Gary, not like a lot, but more than a lot of people I know.
Yeah.
And I've only ever been there during the day. I'm never out of my car. I'm usually just driving through, and driving through, it's not bad. It's fine for the most part. But if you got to stop and I've heard so many stories that do freak me out where and this would have been years ago. So now I'm at a point where I know some of the people who are involved in trying to revitalize Gary. I know a lot of the church people who are they're planting churches to try and change the culture of the city or not change, but support the culture. You know what I mean? We all want what's best for the city and to do that, we have to stop looking out for our individual interests, which is what a lot of gangs will apply. they want you to be part of the group and stuff. And so they'll appeal to your personal needs. Be like, look how much money you could make doing this. Think about your moms and your pops and stuff who you could take care of. And then you're in the group and it feels good to be part of something bigger than yourself and all this stuff. That's how they get you. Church is trying to do the same thing, right? But instead of being for your mom and your pop, it's for, we want, everybody. We want your kids to have a better life and all this stuff. And so like I know some of the people who are involved in that, and I've been keeping track of a lot of the positive news that's happened in the last decade. Yeah. And it's been pretty good. But like, 15, 20 years ago, I remember hearing stories of like, did you ever know Herb Stanley? Justin's, Aunt Gail's dad?
No.
What's it? Yeah. Gotcha.
You broke up a lot, so I heard, have you ever heard of, and then you cut out, then you said Justin, and then I cut out, then
gotcha.
Mom's dad.
Sorry. No, Aunt Gail's dad, Herb Stanley.
No, never heard of him. No.
Okay, gotcha. Well, he was a very intense man, and cool dude. When I knew him, he taught me some astronomy and stuff, and I thought that was pretty badass. But apparently, he one time was driving through Gary, and he stopped at a stoplight, and a cop pulled him over and was like, "Hey, just so you know, you shouldn't be stopping. just run the red light. It's fine. None of us are going to stop you."
Fun fact, that exact same thing happened to me in Fort Heights.
Yeah, I believe it.
Did I ever tell you that story?
I don't think so.
I was leaving a job. Again, this was another job. This is one thing I hate about the inspector life, because it was all hours of the day. But this was probably like 3 a.m, and the highway was shut down because of some really bad accident, so I had to take the back way. So I got on Route 30 from Indiana over to, I think I had to get down to Madison. Because I think I-80 was all fucked up because of an accident. So I had to get down to Madison. Or maybe a little bit before Madison. Either way, I had to get to 57. Or, I'm sorry, 80. So I'm going through Fort Heights and everything, and I get pulled over by a cop. And this was when I was doing my job in a Lincoln Navigator.
Ooh.
So I don't think he knew who I was.
Sorry, there are some assumptions you might make about a person driving a Lincoln Navigator.
Yeah. In Fort Heights at 3 a.m. So,
gosh.
So I was getting pulled over and everything. I'm seeing myself, I'm like, well, I don't know what I fucking did. Like, I may have rolled a stop sign. I may have. I'm not sure. But I was like, I'm pretty sure I made a complete stop. But at the same time, it's 3 a.m. I've been working all day. I'm tired. I just want to fucking go. So I'm trying any way I can to get to the highway. So I think I may have slow rolled a stop sign. But either way, lights went on and everything. He came up to the door, tapped on it. And I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" and everything. And I guess he knew I was white because my window was down at a moment when I was smoking, and I went past him.
Gotcha.
So, he did say, he's like, "Yeah, I saw you slow roll the stop sign there," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, dude." I'm like, "No, that's fine." But then you start stopping at the stoplights. And I was like, "Well, yeah," or the stoplights. And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course, because they're stoplights." Cause like, as soon as I slow rolled it, he started driving behind me. And I didn't pay attention to him behind me. I just saw another car behind me, wouldn't think about it. Red light, stopped, kept going, red light, stopped.
Yeah, if there's a police officer behind me, I'm stopping at the red light. Like,
yeah. Well, of course. I mean, I'll stop at a red light anyways. I'll slow roll a stop sign.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like, if I'm doing illegal stuff and there's a cop, I'm going to stop doing the illegal stuff.
100%. So he's like, I saw his slow roll the stop sign, which I'm not too worried about that. But when you're stopping at the red lights, I'm like, well, yeah, of course, because the red lights. Like, now here's the thing. This is why I'm pulling you over. I'm going to tell you right now. You shouldn't be stopping at stoplights right now. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you, sir. What? he's like, yeah, this isn't that great of a neighborhood, and the vehicle you're in, more than likely somebody's going to take it from you. And I was like, well, he's like, yeah, like Fort Heights isn't that great of a neighborhood, which I already knew that. I didn't realize where I was, but I knew Fort Heights wasn't great because there's a story of a kid who went to high school with us, a couple grades above me, but went to high school, and he was an arrogant motherfucker. And he like decked out this car and all this shit and drove the car into Fort Heights and was like bumping, hitting the subs and all this shit, and dude got jumped and they stripped his car.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the story. Not sure if it's real, but that was the story that was told in school.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, the cop says like, yeah, so He's like, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to keep driving behind you. I'll be behind you. He's like, where do you need to go? I'm like, I need to get on the 80, but there's a bad accident on this side of it. I need to get, on 80, low by Matson. Yeah. And he's like, okay, cool. So we're going to keep driving. I'm going to be behind you. And if we come to a red light, if I flash my brights, just drive straight through it. And I was like, okay. And that's what we did up until, I think maybe Stager or some shit like that, whatever it was. We eventually got to a point where he kind of pulled off, and I guess I was in a good part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit's real. Like they'll tell you, he's like, listen, not a safe place to be. Like during the day, it's not really that many problems. Like nobody's doing criminal shit that often in the day anyways. A lot of, 75% of it's happening at night.
Yeah, all the criminal stuff happening during the day is like wage theft.
Yeah. I mean,
it's all white collar crime.
Criminals are owls, bro. like the violent criminals are owls, man. That's nocturnal shit.
Yeah.
Like they'll it's a what the hell is the word at a vulnerable moment, like when you're not really thinking about it and shit like that. But anyway, so when I look at Indiana, it reminds me a lot of the I-80 rule in Illinois. Have you ever heard of like the I-80 rule?
No, I haven't.
So I-80 is the cutoff between city and suburban. Like if you kind of look at it.
All right. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so like when you come down to Peatown, the closest town is at most 6 miles away by Cornfield.
Right.
Monee is 6 miles away, Mantino's 6 miles away, Beecher's 9 miles away, Wilmington's 11 miles away.
Sure.
Once you hit Monee, every town from Monee up is connected by like a block or something. Like it's not that far off from where you hit Richmond
Park. Sounds exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, Richmond Park, University Park, Matson, all that is not that far off from like Monee.
Yeah, sounds like Chicago's got a lot of neighborhoods to annex.
Dude, it's not, because I hear a lot of people say like, there are places that aren't that far off from Peatone that they consider a suburb of Chicago. Hell, I keep hearing Naperville is considered a suburb of Chicago somehow.
Yeah, people say that.
Yeah, which I don't get it. Like to me, if I look at a map and it says this is Chicago and they give me lines, neighborhoods inside of there, that's Chicago.
Right.
But I'm sorry, Naperville is not Chicago. Matson's not Chicago. Monee, these places are not Chicago.
Yeah.
Back of the yards, fine, that's Chicago. Still don't know what the hell that is. Where you guys live before you bought your house, that's Chicago.
Right.
Like there's suburbs of it. That's what makes Chicago Chicago. Chicago is just one city, but it's made out of a dozen, 50 plus?
It's about 50 neighborhoods.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to say hundreds. I was like, that's a little too extreme.
Yeah.
About 50 neighborhoods. Like, that's all Chicago. It's just how it is. But but the 80 law is, or the 80 rule is like everything north of 80 is city-esque. It's urban-esque. Where 80 south is suburbs and, what the hell is the other one?
Small towns.
Yeah, but what the hell is the other word? Rural.
Yeah.
Yeah, suburban and rural areas. So that was always been the cutoff. But that's how I see Northwest Indiana from pretty much everything that's Indiana beyond that. I always see it as like the 80 rule. So when you have like Hammond, Indiana, Cherville, Maryville, I'm not saying these are bad areas, but the collection of those groups, that is the North 80 part of what Indiana or what Illinois is to me. Because once you get past that and you get down to like St. John, Lowell, stuff like that, like you really don't hit any major city-esque places until you hit maybe Lafayette.
Yeah, and even Lafayette, like, it's barely a city, man.
Yeah. Indianapolis. I'm guessing Indianapolis is probably the biggest city in Indiana.
I think so.
No, to me, and I don't know much about Indiana, so I don't really know, but the next step from that, for me, is like Lafayette, but that's because the college is there.
Yeah.
Maybe, where's Notre Dame at? What's that?
South Bend.
South Bend. So places like that. But even then, like, those don't compare to like a Naperville, a Plainfield, shit like that. To me, those seem more populated than what those are. But those are the places I love to live in, is the quiet, slower ways of life. And that's the best way I explain to people about Peatone. Say Peatone's not a bad place. People make places bad.
Yeah.
That's why, like when people look at like Fort Heights, especially me, I'm one of those people. Fort Heights, Gary, Indiana, Torrance, Avenue, all that shit. It's not bad because of the place. It's bad because of people.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. I hate when people say it's like, oh, Peatone sucks. Like, no, you don't hate Peatone. You just hate some of the people that were here because they made your experience here suck. Yeah. But Peatone's not. I love fucking Peatone. I love the fact that there's a coffee shop and a diner and stuff I can go to and I can sit down. I can have a cup of coffee. I can order my breakfast and they'll come over with a handwritten check of everything I bought and everything. I can leave the cash right there on the table in an honor system way. You can leave the cash on the table, say thank you, leave. And they come and grab it. The change is a tip, whatever the fuck it is. I love that. That's what I love about Peatone. And like, I can walk into the coffee shop and I go, hey, Travis, what's up? And they've only known me from a few visits. Like, how can you hate something like that? Like, I get that people hate it because it's maybe too slow for them. They enjoy city life, and I understand that. Everyone should love the way everyone should live where they want to live, and that's fine. Yeah. But don't bastardize my town by saying it sucks just because we don't have traffic rolling through the fucking streets and everything, and that there's not a Starbucks. I love my town because of the way it is. People make places suck. I mean, I hear a lot of, I want to wrap up here in a minute, and I do want to give you a chance to say something because I've been talking way too long. I hear a lot of good things about Detroit kind of coming back.
Yeah.
Because Detroit's not a bad place. I mean, like, it used to flourish when it had, like, autos, like the auto industry was there and everything, and it was fucking booming. And then, all those things left, and it kind of went to hell. And,
same with like Gary and a lot of places along Lake Michigan. It's just there was a steel industry, and then there wasn't.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, like, I mean, those are places that have opportunities to grow and flourish. Chicago has an opportunity to be better than it is, but it's not the places; it's the people. The people have to learn to be better.
Yeah.
It's just if there was one thing I could pray for today, is that there could be a consistent weekend death count of 0 in Chicago. Or even shootings. Or just even shootings. Happens.
Yeah.
But it could.
Yeah.
That's the thing that sucks. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. That's the one thing that absolutely sucks about things like that. Like, there doesn't have to be a shooting every fucking day in the city.
Yeah.
But for some reason there is. And I don't know what it is. I'm not going to have a sit down conversation with people about that. That to me, it just terrified me too much.
Yeah. What's crazy is Chicago's not even in the top 15 worst places for shooting.
Right.
Like Indianapolis is worse than Chicago.
Yeah. And the thing is like it's like we talked about on the last episode. Like, you want to know how you could stop smoking? Just stop lighting up a cigarette. You want to know how you stop shooting people? Just quit
shooting people.
Like that's what's blowing my mind. Like, I don't know if it's a drug thing, a territory thing, a leadership thing, like a superior, like whatever the fuck the reason is that people are shooting people. It's insane to me that it could easily be solved by just stop shooting people. Just like it makes no fucking sense to me. Because the thing is, like, a lot of times when you hear about, like, the news pops on Monday and it says, like, 12 people shot in, Chicago this weekend or over this holiday. Like, they tell you that, but there's never a descriptive cause of why these shootings were happening. It's just that they happened. And I would love to hear just once, a news report saying, like, 12 people shot this weekend. 4 of them were robberies because of this. 3 of them were domestic. Like, what were the reasons these were happening? Like, what is the cause? And then how do we fix that part of it?
Yeah.
It's not a simple fix. It's not going to be an easy fix, but it is fixable. Yeah. And all it comes down to is just stop doing it. Just like, like the day you think, like, what, I got to take a gun out with me. It's like, man, maybe just everyone's just not doing it.
Yeah. Just leave it at home. Just leave it. You don't need it.
Yeah. You have a problem with somebody? Just don't talk to them.
Just talk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, or don't. Yeah, or just ignore them.
Yeah. I mean, talking it out, obviously, I think would be the first course of action. But, like, if your mindset is, like, I'm going to go shoot this guy, instead of shooting this guy, just walk away. Hey, you know what? that guy's a piece of shit. I don't fucking like him, but you know what? He's not going to affect my life today. Go about my business. In hopes that they feel the same fucking way.
Right.
But that's the biggest problem. You know, if I'm one guy and you're one guy, and if I sit there and say, like, you know what? Joe did me dirty, but I don't give a shit. Fuck him. I don't need him. But then in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but I bet he doesn't feel the same way. So I'm going to have to get him before he gets me.
Right. I think that's a big part of it, is just the feeling of that.
Yeah.
And, there's so many different things that play into it. And really at the end of the day, I think what it comes down to is guns put too much killing power in the hands of people who shouldn't have it.
100%.
And it's too easy to make a permanent choice, for a temporary situation. And that's my biggest thing with guns is like, for all the homicides that happen, like suicide is the most common way to die by a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's to me, it's to you say, okay, well, suicides are the most common way to die by a gun. So we have this horrible mental illness situation where people are choosing this permanent solution to a temporary problem. What is to stop it from being the next step of, well, I can't kill myself, so I'm going to kill somebody else. Like they made me feel bad about me, and I can't feel bad about me, so I'm going to turn it on them.
Yeah. Well, there was something that I can't remember how I read it, but
I have no data for that one. It's just how I feel.
No, this was probably like years ago, because I think there was a point where there was an episode we did kind of talk about suicide a little bit, but it was like a couple years ago where like suicide by cop was a big thing.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of these mass shooters, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They really want.
And that's something I read. It's like they don't want to do it themselves, so they'll find a way to have it done, and producing a mass shooting, anything like that, to unalive yourself, as what social media refers to it now, because you can't talk about suicide on social media. Unalive yourself through other means, and whether that be like a shootout with a cop or crashing a vehicle, whatever the fuck it is. Like it became a big thing. Like now, I don't know if it's still a big thing now, but back whenever we talked about this, I read that and I was like, I know I heard the term suicide by cop because I did law enforcement and career center, and that was a big thing. Like I think a teacher once told us like there could be times in your career where somebody's going to want to be shot, and that's the moment that you're going to determine where you go from there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, and it's weird because law enforcement they're not trained to wound somebody. It's not, I mean, it's not like in the Old West or like, these movies you see where somebody has a gun pointed at you, so you shoot them in the shoulder, shoot them in the leg and shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're not, that's not how it worked. Honestly, if I had to shoot somebody and to save their life was to shoot them in the fucking leg, I'd rather shoot them in the leg than shoot them in the heart or the head.
Right. Yeah.
Because like, if I can at least stop them for a moment, then maybe what's going on in their mind could be helped.
Yeah. A lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a what do they call it? Yeah. Anyway, there's a specific word for it. And they found that like, if you get to be over the age of 35, the odds of you committing a crime plummet. And it's because there's just this mentality in the minds of people who are under 35 where they are way more likely to, in a fit of passion, act out in a particular way.
Yeah. Perfect. I got one more year. I'm going to tell you right now, Joe, that whole what's the word thing I'm thinking of, that only works for me because I can't help you. What are you freaking thinking about, Jeff?
What am I freaking thinking about? I'm freaking thinking about, I actually don't even know. How about you go first, and then I'll think of something while you're talking.
Yeah, I've been talking with Morgan. If you guys don't know, Morgan is one of the co-hosts of the Babes of Lore, along with her cousin Lindsay. I've been talking with her about helping us create a new logo, an actual professional logo for this freaking show. The biggest problem I've had with the biggest problem I had through the process is trying to figure out what the theme of the logo is going to be, because I'm a very indecisive person. Like, I kind of know what I don't want, but I'm open to what it could be.
Sure.
And I ran by you, and for some reason I think steampunk just sounds like the coolest idea.
Yeah, I dig it.
The only thing I told her was like, obviously I want the microphone and headset to be incorporated in it because that's kind of been our thing since the very beginning. Like we always, like that was always part of the logo, and I want that to continue to be part of the logo going forward. It'd be cool to kind of have like any characterizations of us part of the logo. Kind of like how our logo is now, like some similar to that. I wouldn't mind having that. And obviously I want the name to be part of it as well. I just don't want it to be cartoony. Like I don't want like I don't want like the bubbly letters. No, see, and that's the way I try to describe it to her. It's like I don't mind the cartoony that we have, but I don't want like, bubbly, pink and purple letters, and it looks like something that was like created by like, Disney Junior.
Right.
And I think like I just want, I don't want something that looks like our shows like aimed towards children, shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I want, that, and that's why the steampunk thing sounds really fun, cool. Plus I like the colors, like a bronze and kind of like that, like a brass look. I think it's really fun, cool. So I'm working with her, but obviously, being indecisive, I don't really know what I want. So she's going to send over some, examples of things she's already done, and then we kind of establish from there. And then she might potentially be making us an actual official logo for Freakin Studios, which we haven't had in a while.
Nice.
So I'm excited for all that. I'm actually contemplating getting a hold of somebody who might be able to help me get in touch with somebody to create us a custom theme song.
Ooh.
Because we've been talking about theme songs for a while. Actually, for the last few months, we've been thinking about switching up we've been thinking for the last few years switching up the theme song. And recently, over the course of the last couple months, we were getting closer to actually that happening. And we just haven't yet. But if I could find a way to talk to somebody to create us a theme song, I think that'd be great. But I want a custom theme song that has lyrics. I just don't want an instrumental theme song. I want something with lyrics. And something that has us in it. Nice. So I might do that. And the biggest thing is because we have the funds to do it, thanks to CarterComics.com. It's like, why not utilize it? And plus to do it locally. Because I know I was asking you about looking up information on that one website, where you can hire people
Fiverr.
to do shit. Yeah. But it's that's all well and good. And, hey, best of luck to the people on there. But if I can find a way to do that with local people.
Yeah.
Why the hell not? Especially people that we know, like Morgan. Like if Morgan could do something for me to in turn, I could buy it through her and her small business to help her out, then why the fuck not? So hopefully, over the course of the next few months, maybe by October, I'm hoping, we'll have a new logo and we can release that. And, who knows, maybe we'll get, this Freaky Show logo too, and we could utilize that one during the month of October. And then maybe a theme song. I was just like more custom stuff. So that's what I've been working on. That's what I've been trying to figure out. So your turn.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you freaking think about now, Joe?
I guess I'm freaking. So we were talking about cost of education and things, and it got me thinking about so I don't know that I want to put this out there on the internet. I've been thinking about what's next. When things happen, I'm getting restless. I'm getting ready to be moved on from my church that I'm at right now. I never wanted to be here forever, really. And so to me, I think I've got maybe 2 or 3 years left. Whether the church comes back or not, I feel like I'm ready to be done after that amount of time. Mm-hmm. And so I've been thinking a lot about what's next. And so I've been thinking a lot about, do I want to go back to school? What would I want to go back for? That kind of stuff. And so, I don't know. I'm thinking about different programs and things. It's exciting to think about learning new stuff. I love school. I'm a school person. And so, I guess that's what I'm kind of freaking thinking about. What's next? Do I go for a chaplaincy program? Do I get, a PhD or something, which I've always kind of wanted? Do I go for an MBA? I don't know. I'm just, that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. So I don't know. Yeah. I like thinking about the future and about self-improvement and education and stuff. Sucker for it.
Yeah, Yeah, you're definitely the more of the educational type.
I am
I wish
nerd.
I really wish I could have enjoyed school as much as I would want to now. I wish I had this same mentality back then. I probably would have figured out more ways to get through it. But yeah, again, it was more the financial worry and shit that kind of prevented me. I mean, the financial worries prevented me.
I don't know what I would have done, honestly, if literally the only reason I have student debt at all is because I went to a master's program so I could be a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Indiana had a really great program when I was there where as long as you kept your GPA above a certain amount and your parents made below a certain amount in the 8th grade when you signed up for the program, they covered everything but room and board.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like as a state, they were like, we really want to invest in education. It used to be a great state, man. I love Indiana, but I hate Indiana. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and so like, I graduated from Purdue with, I think, 1 semester worth of debt, which I paid off, I think, sometime at the beginning of the pandemic, cause the tuition freeze or the payment freeze.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but, yeah, so I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have that. We were always threatened our whole lives. We had to either go to college or go to the military, and it was like, or get a scholarship or go into the military. And so I don't know. I didn't know how to fill out scholarships back then. I would have had no fucking clue. I'd probably end up in the military, which I would not have worked out well for me. You've known me my whole life. I'd have been terrible in the military. I'm about as athletic as a pillow.
Oh, perfect. Oh, shit. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Every week our listeners catch Cartoon Joe here on this freaking show. But if an hour of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our listeners, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over at the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Perfect.
I have to change it to X.
You do what?
You can find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and X.com.
Yeah.
I like calling it shitter. You know, like Xitter.
I don't see. That's the thing. Like, I mean, what's the official name?
Yeah, I think the official name is X.com, but everyone still calls it Twitter. It's like the Sears Tower. It's the Sears Tower. It's not the Willis Tower. It's Sears Tower.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the Willis Tower anymore. It's something else.
No, it's something else. I don't remember what it is. Anyway.
Anyways. Yeah, guys, make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just by searching This Freaking Show. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Freakin Studios. Make sure you are subscribing. Check out the videos we currently have there, and make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for the videos we have set up for the future. And then listen to us wherever you find your podcast, whether it be iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean. Just make sure you subscribe, search This Freaking Show, and rate and review us wherever it's applicable, because that does help us out. Guys, that's all I got. So, as always, I am Travesty.
I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.